What makes a country a country? It's having all the things you need to sustain yourself as a country. That may not necessarily mean that you have everything in hand. It may mean that you have the means to sustain yourself through your relations with other countries. But having some sort of viability is essential just to keep going.
A country is a country. Well, I think that's not really a legal question. It's more a philosophical question. I think it's some sense of a common history, some sense of common purpose, a common people trying to achieve something together.
What makes a country a country? This is just a classic question because it is so relative.
Well, it started out as a pretty straightforward real estate transaction. There was this beautiful island with a 160-year-old magnificent lighthouse on it. And it's right in the middle of Long Island Sound, easy to get to by helicopter, and I'm lucky enough that I happen to own a helicopter. One thing led to another, and I ended up, I thought, purchasing an island. I decided I needed an independent way to make clean, reliable energy for my little island, and I went to put up a wind turbine. The state of New York has rules that if you build any structure more than 40 feet high in a, quote, residential neighborhood, you're required to have a variance, which is basically a way of informing all the neighbors that might be impacted by what you do that you intend to do it. I informed the state of New York that I couldn't possibly inform all of my abutting neighbors because I have no abutting neighbors, unless you count the little fishies, because I own the entire island. Fortunately, I happened upon a wonderful document, the Constitution of North Dumpling, which I did find in the wine cellar. I don't want to discuss for security reasons how it got there, but I uncovered a great mistake of history when I found the Constitution and saw that it was the precursor to the US Constitution, word for word. There it was. I was very familiar with the basic principles. I just realized that there essentially wasn't one United States. There was actually a Constitution created with all the tenets and understandings that we Americans happen to have, but there it was on dumpling. So it's a separate little country with virtually identical principles, which is why I think the Dumplonians and the citizens of the US have gotten along so well over the years. Since the Dumplonians had their own constitution, it was wholly unreasonable that it ever assumed it was part of the United States. And I could put my wind turbine up without having to satisfy some unreasonable requirements of some people that were quite a distance away from North Dumpling Island.